Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem. My respected elders and brothers, today's conversation will be a little long one. I'll try to limit it to 12 minutes. The first part in English and then the summary in Urdu. आज की बात थोड़ी सी लंबी होगी, मैं कोशिश करूँगा 12-13 मिनट से ज़्यादा ना हो. And inshallah we'll cover 4 things in it. The reason why I'm doing this conversation is on the night when the moon was not sighted on Sunday, we received calls also, we received text messages also, people came to us physically also the next day, that other masajid have started Ramadan, they prayed their Taraweeh also, they prayed, they fasted on Monday also. Why has Muhammadi Masjid not declared Ramadan? So my perspective of having this conversation is, what is the stand of Muhammadi Masjid and why we announced that moon has not been sighted and we're going to start the Ramadan from Tuesday. That's the only reason I'm doing this conversation. I'm not pointing out to any masjid, I'm not criticizing anyone. I'm not pointing out to anyone and I'm not criticizing any masjid. So 4 things inshallah will be there in this conversation. Muhammadi Masjid was founded in 1995. Approximately, alhamdulillah, 29 years have passed away. What is the stand of Muhammadi Masjid in the last 29 years? Did it ever change its stand? Or since the beginning until today, Muhammadi Masjid has the same stand for moon sighting? Second is, what are the factors that affect, the 7 factors that the scientists and the ulama have written, which determine or affect the sighting of the moon? 2 papers are there. Paper utha de bolo. Third conversation is, what does the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam say, that when you sight the moon, what to do, and when you don't sight the moon, what to do? And the third conversation is this question. Church. In the church parking lot, there is between the Speedway and church, between the church and the Speedway gas station, it's a Nissan. The license plate is Junior, Pennsylvania, Carolina 5168. It's a navy blue Nissan JPC 5168. It's blocking. So the brother is requested to remove it. सामने वाले parking lot में जो gas station के साथ है एक Nissan है और वो navy blue color की है, वो block कर रही है, इसको move कर लें. Jazakallah khair. And the fourth is, when this question comes to mind, which is a normal question, some brothers saw the moon on Monday night for a long amount of time, maybe like an hour on the horizon or 30 minutes. So this question came that this is the second day moon. So what does the hadith address? The hadith addresses this question also, alhamdulillah. So what is the reply of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam regarding this genuine question that comes in mind? So I would humbly request the attention of each and every one of you, the sisters also downstairs, the brothers on the second floor also, because this is something, the part of the world where we are living in, we can bear this, we can absorb this, but our children that are growing up are really confused. It's impacting them negatively. So it's really important that we understand the background of this issue. So the first thing is, what is the stand of Muhammadi Masjid? Since 1995 until as of today, 2024, for the last 29 years, Muhammadi Masjid's stand regarding moon sighting is that whenever a verifiable, authentic moon sighting report comes in from any part of the US, Muhammadi Masjid will accept it. If it's not verifiable, if it's not authentic, or it comes outside the country, then Muhammadi Masjid will not accept it. So alhamdulillah, we are not flip-flopping. Alhamdulillah, we are standing on a ground since day one as of today. So nobody should think that we are changing stands. And one year we say something and the other year we say something. No, this is not the case. Those, alhamdulillah, who are old in this community already know this. Second thing, the 7 important factors that affect the crescent visibility. The hilal, the Arabic word is hilal. So the word in English for hilal is not new moon. The word for hilal is crescent, because new moon is not hilal. Hilal is something that can be seen from the eye. In English also, the crescent is something that can be seen with the eye. New moon cannot be seen with the eye unless it reaches 17 or 18 hours of age. This is something we need to understand. So 7 factors. The first is the age of the moon. When is ideally naked eye able to see the moon? When it's 18 hours old. Sometimes 17 hours, the history has recorded. But ideally speaking, if it's less than 18 hours old, the naked eye cannot see it. Second factor is altitude, meaning the height of the moon above the horizon. Ideally, it should be 10 degrees. Sometimes even in 9 degrees, it could be seen, but ideally 10 degrees above the horizon. The third factor is elongation. What is elongation? The separation between the moon and the sun. This is the sun, this is the moon. How many degrees is the elongation, the separation? So ideally speaking, 8 degrees is the elongation. If it's less than that, it's difficult to sight the moon. Number 4 is the lag time. What is the lag time? The difference between the sunset and the moon set. Meaning how many minutes did the moon stay on the horizon for me and you to see before it set. So ideally it should be there for 40 to 45 minutes. If the moon did not stay on the horizon for 40 to 45 minutes after the sunset, then ideally it cannot be seen. Yes, exceptions are there in history. It was seen in 35 minutes also. But this is what the scientists and the fuqaha have written in most of the situations. Number 5, the weather. If the weather is cloudy, we won't be able to see the moon, though the moon will be there. 6th factor is the altitude of the observer. Me and you, the much higher we go, the more chances are that we are going to sight the moon. The 7th and the last factor is the actual sighters. Do they know how to sight the moon? How does the crescent look like on the clock? So this is the knowledge that every sighter should has that goes out to sight the moon. This is one thing. Moving forward, on Sunday night, what was the age of the moon in New York? I'll just talk about New York because we are in New York. The age of the moon was almost 14 hours. So we are saying at least 17 to 18 hours. It was 14 hours age-wise. How much was the lag time? We said 45 minutes is ideal. The lag time was 36 minutes. We said the altitude should be ideally 10 degrees. The altitude was 6 degrees. We said the elongation should be 8+ degrees. Here the elongation was 8 degrees. So that's why the naked eye wasn't able to see. It was cloudy also. Now the question arises, we come on the third point, the stand of Muhammadi Masjid, and as far as the 7 factors. Now what does the hadith say? The hadith of Bukhari and Tirmidhi, Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu narrates, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, Sumu li ru'yatihi wa aftiru li ru'yatihi. فإن غبي عليكم فأكملوا عدة شعبان 30 أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. And in one narration, فإن غم عليكم الهلال, the hadith of Tirmidhi. What is the translation? Start Ramadan by sighting the moon, and start Eid, meaning stop Ramadan, by sighting the moon. This part is easy to understand. Then the hadith says فإن غبي, or in another narration فإن غم. Ghubbiya and ghumma means the moon will be there, but because of the horizon being cloudy, you won't be able to see it. It will be away from your eyes. Now keep this sentence for a minute on one side, that if you are not able to see the hilal, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam did not say فَإِن لَمْ يَكُنِ الْهِلَالِ. Ulama are here. In Arabic, فَإِن لَمْ يَكُنِ الْهِلَالِ means if the hilal is not there on the horizon, then complete 30 days. No, he did not say this. He said if your eyes are not able to see the hilal, which means the hilal will be there. It is existent, but because of the cloudy weather, you are not able to see it. Then فَأَكْمِلُوا عِدَّةَ شَعْبَانَ ثَلَاثِينَ, then complete 30 days of Sha'ban and start Ramadan from the next day. Now Hilal was incited in New York. We didn't depend in New York. I mentioned on that day also, I'll further elaborate on it. Since day one, Muhammadi Masjid follows local sighting, consults the local ulama. In 2009, a conference was held in New York where ulama from 9 different states of the US came in, and all the regional moon sighting committees in Michigan, in California, in Buffalo, in New York, and other parts of the world, or other parts of the US, got merged under the umbrella of CHC, Central Hilal Committee of North America. So it was founded in 2009, and right now it's 2024. So how many years have passed away? Almost 15 years. So since then, Muhammadi Masjid is following Central Hilal Committee. Initially, there were 9 states. Now, Alhamdulillah, CHC has representatives from 25 different states of the US. That it represents half of the US. 150 plus ulama and scholars and mufti from the whole of North America are part of this Central Hilal Committee. So it's not me or somebody else or you making this decision. This is 150 qualified scholars and muftis who are making this decision. They are not making this decision only in Eid and Ramadan and Eid al-Adha. They are making this decision for the last 15 years on every month of the Islamic calendar. Every month of the Islamic calendar, they go out and sight, reports start coming in. Then when the sun sets on the west coast, there is 3 hours ahead of us. Then whether it's Sha'ban, whether it's Rabiul Awwal, those who are part of the Muhammadi Masjid WhatsApp group, they receive the messages that the moon was not sighted, so tomorrow is the 30th of Rabiul Awwal or the 29th of Rabiul Sani. So it's a monthly effort going on for the last 15 years. And then the ulama of the 25 states convene a conference call. All the shahadas are scrutinized, and then the decision is made. So Alhamdulillah, the same format was followed in the case on Sunday for Ramadan. How many people went out in the whole of US? 350 brothers and ulama went out in the whole of the US, from the northeast to the west coast, to sight the moon under the supervision of the local ulama. In California alone, there were 10 ulama ikram and 140 brothers who went on a height of 4,000 feet on Mount Laguna. And they go there every month. You want to try, some ulama travel from New York just on Sunday there to make sure what they are doing. Every month on the 29th, they go on Mount Laguna, that is 4,000 feet above the ground level, and they sight the moon under the supervision of the ulama. So this Sunday, it was 150 brothers with 10 ulama in them, amongst them. They used binoculars also, but 75% of the horizon was cloudy. They were not able to sight the moon. Then the conference call convened at 10:35 p.m. and after scrutinizing all the reports, the decision was made that there was no credible sighting from the east coast to the west, from the north to the south, anywhere in the whole of US. That's why we decide that we will complete 30 days of Sha'ban. So this is the reason why Muhammadi Masjid decided that we cannot start Ramadan on Monday. We would start it according to the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam on Tuesday. Last thing, we come on this question. I received a voicemail. On a light note, I'm saying this. Maybe that brother is sitting here. He spoke in a language that I don't understand. And in a threatening voice, in a very angry voice, he left a voicemail. I was revising my Quran between Maghrib and Isha. And he said, did you go and sight the moon? Go out and see. You destroyed the fast of one day. So that's fine. If you want to speak, come and sit down, take the time, and we will speak on this. How does it help to threaten someone? How does it help? Not because I'm an imam, I'm saying this. You shouldn't threaten a regular Muslim also. How does it help to become angry and say, did you go out and sight the moon? You are not solving the problem. You are further creating problems and fitna in the community. Okay? One brother texted me, you missed the Taraweeh, don't miss the first of Ramadan. And he sent me a photo of the masjid that declared that tomorrow is the first of Ramadan. So I texted that brother, wa alaikum assalam, please introduce yourself. So he became angry. My name is so and so, I am a Muslim, you introduce yourself. You are the admin on this group. People should know who is running this group. So at first I controlled myself for a few hours. And then I nicely texted him, brother, my name is Kashif Aziz, and I'm the director of the religious affairs at Muhammadi Masjid. If you want to speak, this is not my group, this is run by the management of Muhammadi Masjid. If you want to speak on this, let's fix a time and we'll sit down. Then he said, I don't want it to become like backbiting, so I'll stop here. So the thing is, deal with some etiquettes. You should know how to talk. If you don't even know how to talk, that includes me also, then unfortunately, what are we doing in this month of Ramadan? So coming back on the topic, the thing is, what is the answer to this question? That I went out and saw the moon for 2 days. It seems like a 2-day moon. Imam Sahib, what is the reply for this? So there is a hadith in, I'll give you 2 ahadith. There is a hadith in Mu'jam al-Saghir and Mu'jam al-Awsat of Imam Tabarani rahimahullah, and Musannaf ibn Abi Shayba rahimahullah has also mentioned this, that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, now don't get offended. This is a hadith, I'm narrating to you the mafhum of the words of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The hadith goes like this, min iqtirab as-sa'ati. It is from the signs of the day of judgment that people will see the moon that will be big, and they will say, this is the moon of 2 nights. It is from the signs of the day of judgment that people will see the moon on the first night. It will be big, but they will say, Laylataini, this is the moon of 2 nights. This is one hadith. Another hadith that is mentioned in Sahih Muslim. After the demise of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, some people went for Umrah. And at night they saw the moon. So some amongst the group said, this is the moon of 2 nights. Some said, this is the moon of 3 nights. So then they saw Abdullah bin Abbas radiyallahu an, the famous companion of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the greatest mufassir of the Quran. They said, we saw the moon tonight, we saw the moon, and some people said it looked like the moon of 2 nights. Some said it looked like the moon of 3 nights. So Abdullah bin Abbas radiyallahu an said, which night exactly did you see? They said, we saw it on so and so night. Abdullah bin Abbas radiyallahu an said, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Allah extends the moon on the first night so the people can see. These are the words of the hadith. Allah extends the moon on the first night so people can see it, and it was the moon of that exact night which you saw, which means it wasn't the moon of 2 nights or 3 nights. This is the hadith of Sahih Muslim. You can go and check for yourself, inshallah, if you want. I can give you the Arabic text also. So the thing is, what do these 2 ahadith tell us? We shouldn't comment in this manner, respectfully speaking. This is a sign of the day of judgment to say that I am seeing the moon and it looks like a 2-day moon. Because this is not the way to determine the beginning of the month or ending of the month. The hadith is clear, you have to see it. The hadith is clear, it's going to be there, but you are not able to see it, so we won't consider that day as the day of the moon. Last thing I would mention as a support to this. Everybody knows NASA, National Aeronautics and Space Administration. The world believes in NASA and follows it. Go on NASA's website after going home today. Type moon.nasa.gov and look for the observation of the moon. And look for the 10th of March, Sunday, 2024. They show you how much percentage of the moon you could see, and they tell you which day is the first day of the moon. If you type in Sunday, they will say 0 day. The moon was not sighted anywhere on earth on this day. These are the experts whom we believe as experts. And they are saying this. I'm not taking this as an evidence because in Deen, the hadith is an evidence. The Quran is an evidence. These scientific things are supportive evidences for us. But if we believe in science, then science is saying this, it wasn't visible on the whole of earth. and you type on Monday, it will say this is the first day of the moon. So these are the reasons why Muhammadi Masjid made the decision. Once again, the purpose is not to criticize anyone. The purpose is to confuse the minds if any, is to clear the minds if there is any confusion. Some of our brothers, if they think we have missed one fast, we missed one Taraweeh, so Alhamdulillah, I can swear upon Allah on this Musalla, we never missed a Taraweeh. We never missed a fasting. If any, because we are going by the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We are following 150 plus ulama whom we know their effort for the last 15 years. Now don't get me wrong, because sometimes our own brothers, I know them, they cut off my talk and take bits and pieces and they go outside and comment and convey it to other masajid that Imam Kashif said so and so. The purpose is not to criticize any masjid. The purpose is to clear the minds of all of you brothers. You could have prayed Taraweeh in any other masjid that is out there. Why did you choose Muhammadi Masjid? You could have followed any other masjid. Why did you follow Muhammadi Masjid? Because it's your own choice. So if you come in Muhammadi Masjid, at least your mind should be clear that why Muhammadi Masjid is doing this. So this is the only reason why I said this. Forgive me, it got long, but I'll quickly translate in Urdu. Those of our brothers who are not able to understand, at least they know. جو بات میں نے عرض کی وہ بات یہ تھی, we won't be doing the tafsir session because we are already getting late today. جو بات کی وہ میں نے 4 باتیں کی, خلاصتاً میں عرض کر دیتا ہوں. یہ باتیں اس لیے کی کہ یہ سوال اٹھتا ہے, سوال آیا ہمارے سامنے کہ بھائی آپ نے پیر کے دن چاند دیکھا تھا, جو ہے چاند 2 دن کا چاند لگ رہا تھا, تو آیا آپ لوگوں سے ایک تراویح رہ گئی یا آپ لوگوں سے ایک روزہ رہ گیا؟ محمدی مسجد نے کیوں پیر کے دن روزہ شروع کرنے کا جو ہے اعلان نہیں کیا, منگل کا کیوں کیا جب دوسری مساجد نے اعلان کر دیا تھا؟ تو 4 چیزیں میں نے عرض کی انگریزی میں کہ محمدی مسجد کا موقف پچھلے 29 سال سے کیا رہا ہے. اس مسجد کی بنیاد 1995 میں رکھی گئی. اس دن سے لے کر آج تک محمدی مسجد پورے امریکہ سے کہیں سے بھی صحیح خبر آ جاتی ہے تو اس کو وہ قبول کر لیتی ہے. امریکہ کے باہر سے خبر آتی ہے تو محمدی مسجد اس کو قبول نہیں کرتی. دوسری چیز وہ 7 کون سے امور ہیں جن کی بنیاد پہ چاند دیکھنے پہ اثر پڑتا ہے, نظر آئے گا یا نہیں آئے گا. چاند کی عمر کیا ہے, چاند جو ہے وہ افق سے جو ہے وہ کتنے ڈگری اونچا ہے. تیسری چیز چاند اور سورج میں کتنے ڈگری کا فرق ہے. چوتھا لیگ ٹائم کتنا ہے, یعنی سورج کے غروب ہونے کے بعد چاند کتنے منٹ تک افق پہ رہتا ہے پھر غروب ہوتا ہے. اگر میں تفصیل میں جاؤں گا تو بات لمبی ہو جائے گی, انگریزی میں نے تفصیل سے بات کی. 5ویں چیز یہ ہے کہ جو ہے مطلع کیسا ہے, ابر آلود ہے کہ نہیں ہے. 6ٹھی چیز یہ ہے کتنی اونچائی سے دیکھنے والا چاند کو دیکھ رہا ہے. اور 7ویں چیز یہ ہے کہ جو لوگ چاند دیکھ رہے ہیں ان کو جو ہے دیکھنے کا علم ہے کہ نہیں ہے. ان میں سے کوئی ایک چیز بھی متاثر ہوگی, چاند نظر نہیں آئے گا. نیو یارک میں چاند نظر نہیں آیا, کیلیفورنیا تک نہیں آیا. کوئی اگر مثبت خبر آئی بھی تھی تو وہ قابل اعتبار نہیں تھی. محمدی مسجد کس کو فالو کرتی ہے؟ 2009 تک محمدی مسجد مقامی علماء اور کیلیفورنیا اور جتنے اسٹیٹس کے علماء کی رؤیت ہلال کی جماعت تھی اس سے شہادتیں لیتی تھی. 2009 میں 9 اسٹیٹس کے علماء کی میٹنگ ہوئی. ساری چھوٹی چھوٹی رؤیت ہلال کمیٹیاں مرج ہو کے ایک بڑی جماعت کی صورت میں آ گئیں جس کا نام ہے سینٹرل ہلال کمیٹی. اس کی ویب سائٹ بھی ہے hilalcommittee.org. 2009 سے آج 2024 تک تقریباً 15 سال ہو گئے ہیں. صرف رمضان اور بقرعید میں نہیں, ہر مہینے میں اس کے علماء 29ویں رات کو چاند دیکھنے جاتے ہیں. کیلیفورنیا تک یہ محنت ہوتی ہے, پھر رات کو جڑتے ہیں اور پھر جو ہے فیصلہ ہوتا ہے کہ آج 29 ہے, کل 30 ہے یا کل پہلی ہے. تو وہی طریقہ کار جو ہے 15 سال کا اس اتوار والے دن بھی اختیار کیا گیا. اور اللہ کا کرنا یہ ہوا کہ اس اتوار کو پورے امریکہ میں 350 لوگوں نے چاند دیکھنے کی محنت کی علماء اکرام کی نگرانی کے اندر. اور اس وقت 9 اسٹیٹ سے ابتدا ہوئی تھی, اس وقت 25 اسٹیٹس کے علماء اکرام اس کمیٹی کا حصہ ہیں, یعنی آدھی امریکہ کے اسٹیٹس اس کے اندر ریپرزینٹ ہوتے ہیں. کہیں سے بھی چاند نظر نہیں آیا. کیلیفورنیا میں 4000 فٹ بلند پہاڑ ماؤنٹ لگونا، جس پہ ہر مہینے وہاں کے علماء جاتے ہیں، 150 لوگ اس کے اوپر چڑھے، جس میں سے 10 علماء، 140 عوام تھے، اور بائنوکولر سے جو ہے وہ دیکھنے کی جو ہے وہ محنت کی گئی۔ اگر کوئی ساتھی اس کو ریکارڈ کر رہا ہے تو اس سے درخواست ہے کہ میں اجازت نہیں دیتا کہ اس کو آپ آگے پہنچائیں، میں کلیئرلی یہ درخواست کر رہا ہوں۔ اگر کوئی ساتھی میری اس بات کو ریکارڈ کر رہا ہے تو میں آپ کو اجازت نہیں دیتا کہ آپ اس کو میری اجازت کے بغیر آگے پہنچائیں۔ مسجد کے یوٹیوب چینل پہ، فیس بک پہ یہ ریکارڈنگ ہو رہی ہے، آپ کو وہاں سے آگے پہنچانی ہے تو آپ کو اجازت ہے، لیکن اپنی انفرادی آپ میری تصویر لے کے یا ریکارڈ کر کے آپ کو اجازت نہیں آگے پہنچانے کی۔ If somebody wants to convey what was just said to somebody else to clear their confusion, then alhamdulillah this is being live streamed and it will be uploaded on the Masjid YouTube, Facebook and Mixler. Anybody is individually making a video of me or is recording my conversation, I don't allow any one of you to convey it to others. You want to keep it for yourself, that's fine, because I had a very bad experience in the past. You might say, why I'm saying this? Alhamdulillah, the masjid has an official channel. Follow, you can forward the videos from there, but personally don't put me in a position and put me in a spot that it becomes difficult for me to bear, and just for your own reasoning you start forwarding the video to others. Coming back on the topic, what was I saying? کہاں تک پہنچی تھی؟ ماؤنٹ لگونا پر 150 لوگوں نے 10 علماء اکرام کی موجودگی میں محنت کی، دیکھا لیکن نظر نہیں آیا۔ تو پھر یہ فیصلہ ہوا کہ پورے امریکہ میں چاند نظر نہیں آیا ہے، اس لیے ہم جو ہے وہ کل 30 شعبان شمار کریں گے۔ آپ صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم کی حدیث کا مفہوم ہے کہ جب تم چاند کو دیکھ کر روزہ رکھو اور چاند کو دیکھ کر جو ہے وہ روزہ کھولو، یعنی عید کرو۔ اگر چاند تم کو نظر نہ آئے، تم سے اوجھل ہو، یعنی مطلع ابر آلود ہو، تو تم 30 دن شعبان کے پورے کرو۔ تو حدیث یہ نہیں کہہ رہی کہ چاند موجود نہیں ہوگا، حدیث یہ کہہ رہی کہ چاند موجود ہوگا لیکن تمہیں بادلوں کی وجہ سے نظر نہیں آئے گا، تو اس لیے نہ نظر آنا، اس سے مہینہ شروع نہیں ہو سکتا۔ آخری چیز اس سوال کا جواب کہ جب ہمیں دوسرے دن چاند نظر آتا ہے تو یہ 2 دن کا چاند ہوتا ہے، تو میں 2 حدیثیں عرض کرتا ہوں جس میں اس کا جواب ہے۔ طبرانی رحمہ اللہ نے اپنی معجم میں، اور مصنف اور ابن ابی شیبہ رحمہ اللہ نے اپنی مصنف کے اندر اس حدیث کو ذکر کیا ہے۔ آپ صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم نے فرمایا جس کا مفہوم قیامت کی علامات میں سے یہ علامت ہے کہ لوگ پہلی رات کا چاند دیکھیں گے جو بڑا ہوگا، اور وہ کہیں گے کہ یہ 2 رات کا چاند ہے۔ مسلم شریف کی روایت ہے، عبداللہ بن عباس رضی اللہ عنہ سے ایک جماعت کی تابعین کی جماعت نے پوچھا کہ ہم نے آج چاند دیکھا، لیکن وہ 2 راتوں کا اور 3 راتوں کا چاند لگ رہا تھا۔ تو عبداللہ بن عباس رضی اللہ عنہ نے فرمایا کس رات کو دیکھا ہے؟ تو فرمایا اس رات کو دیکھا ہے۔ تو فرمایا کہ آپ صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم نے فرمایا اللہ پاک چاند کو بڑا کر دیتے ہیں تاکہ تم کو نظر آئے، اور یہ اسی رات کا چاند تھا جس رات کو تم نے دیکھا ہے۔ اس کا مطلب پچھلی راتوں کا چاند نہیں تھا۔ تو یہ بات کرنا حدیث کی روح سے مناسب نہیں ہے کہ یہ 2 دن کا چاند یا 3 دن کا چاند لگ رہا ہے۔ ہمیں یہ دیکھنا ہے کہ ہم حدیث کے اعتبار سے فیصلہ کر رہے ہیں کہ نہیں کر رہے۔ تو کسی کو یہ خوف نہیں ہونا چاہیے کہ ہماری ایک تراویح رہ گئی یا ہمارا ایک روزہ رہ گیا۔ باقی ہم سب انسان ہیں، ہم سب سے غلطی ہوتی ہے، اگر غلطی ہوئی ہے تو اللہ پاک ہمیں جو ہے وہ معاف کرے۔ اللہ پاک پکڑ جو فرمائیں گے قیامت کے دن وہ ہماری استعداد کے مطابق پکڑ فرمائیں گے۔ اگر ہم نے اپنی استعداد کے مطابق فیصلہ کیا ہوگا صحیح، تو پھر اللہ پاک کی طرف سے درگزر کا معاملہ ہوگا۔ Whatever was said and heard, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the understanding of these things. Ameen. Jazakallah khair for bearing with me. Salatul Taraweeh.